Hello, sir. This is Darren Scott Monroe, and I left this special message for you because I read your reply, and I'm quite concerned, and there's some things I got to share with you. But first, let me introduce myself and clarify something. I'm not here to impede or interrupt or, hurt your WSO. But there is something I think that you need to know very clearly before we proceed further, since you've answered me in this fashion. First of all, I totally understand the whole refund thing. As I've said in my post, I'm not a serial refunder or a refund hound, and I also understand something else, sir, that as a person who has a WSO, we have the craziest people who try to claim or get their money back or ask for whatever reason. That happens all the time. I'm sure that those 7 people who asked for their refund back out of those 1,200 definitely, maybe not, definitely may have had some interesting excuses for doing that. That is absolutely right. But there's a misconception that I must correct you on, and anyone who thinks like that, therefore I'm sharing in this video, sir. The first thing I want to clarify to you is some of the things that you said in your reply. So I want to go into that and break that down for a moment. And please, this is something you and anyone else seeing this should consider these things, okay? The first thing is you said, even though I receive only a handful of these kinds of emails, regarding the refunds for each PLR I send, it's simple, a time waste for me to deal with. Now, the last, some of the last big project you had with the 1,200, for instance, was only 7 refunds. If you used it through Warriors Plus, then that means that you had to go in the back end and refund the user. And yes, that does take a few minutes, but not a lot of time. So it doesn't seem like it will be a big waste. And I'm sure it did have some sort of effect on your sales. And later on you pointed out as well. But let me get into that in a moment. You also said any customer who bought this package can contact my support and face any issues in ordering it. The problem, and I'm going to bring this up again, that the internet and both the forum have had people, and we all know them, who have sold them things and it wasn't what they expected. And these aren't just newbies. These are people who've been around the block who have sold them things and it wasn't what they delivered or expected, and they feel as though they've lost something. And therefore they were looking for the money back guarantee, not for the sake of, trying to get a freebie or be a serial refunder, but actually because, they've been robbed before. In fact, I don't know anybody who hasn't been robbed. Haven't you? Everybody's been taken at one point or another. Unfortunately, we can say that. Well, the whole point I'm getting to here is that because of that sense of distrust, they feel as though the money back guarantee would at least secure what they're doing, okay? And that's where that comes from with the money back guarantee. And I wanted to jump into something you said here, breaking this down again. You said, and I'm quoting you from what you wrote here, okay? You said that a money back guarantee offered by a seller has the first intention to increase conversion in sales for him or herself. You're right. You said not, but then you ended it and said not to benefit directly the customer. Wrong. I disagree, sir. The guarantee, and you ask Walmart and any billion-dollar company who has a guarantee is part of your brand and your promise, sir. And yes, your choice is your WSO, but here's the challenge with that. Again, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, buy $47. Yeah, I'm going to support you, but I'm not going to give you your money back. And I totally understand when you have those serial people, but as you said, you only receive a handful of them. So if you only receive a handful of them, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to give a money back guarantee for 30 days. And I'm just saying this to other people. The thing that really disturbed me, because I saw your page and I said, well, everything seems to sell. Why is it that there's a problem? And it was brought to my attention and I said, well, you know what? I think the real problem here is the money back guarantee that's lacking. And you can, it's your WSO, you do what you want, but my point here, sir, is that You said apart from the sales credibility, if people are reluctant to buy a PLR package in which they find great value in because there's no money back guarantee, in my opinion, which is your opinion, the real reason is not the guarantee itself, but mostly it's because the doubt that they will be able to take action, be able to market that properly to make money with it. No. In some cases, maybe, but most cases, no. I've explained it earlier. You are selling, I am selling, we're all selling in an environment where people out there have taken their money. They've taken it, it's gone. We've all been taken. If you say you haven't been taken on the internet, something's wrong. You just haven't been around. That's a rites of passage. But the point here is that everybody in that environment who feels very cautious in their purchases and careful in their purchases would look for a money-back guarantee to make them feel comfortable. For instance, I had a WSO that sold almost 500 copies. How many refunds did I get? 2. It wasn't that big of a deal. The whole idea is that, hey, you give them money back. And in one case, I actually gave them their money. They didn't even ask. I just gave it to them. Like, hey, here you go. Because, if you were having a hard time, and I told them to keep it anyway. I mean, keep the WSO, But the whole idea I want you to understand, sir, is that I understand these people are out here who are serial refunders, who are not good people, who do this dirty stuff. You're right. But you can always block and ban them from buying from you ever again. And yes, there'll be a few people who show up. But what you're missing in the long run, beyond the sales, is the connection with people and trust. It becomes a big question of, did I buy his products before? Now, if they had a great experience as a previous customer, of course they're going to buy from you. But what about all of the new business that you're missing out right now because of this? I disagree with your whole idea of credibility, because credibility has nothing to do with taking action. Action has to do with taking action. Follow through has to do with taking action. Credibility has to do with you have an offer, people who want to buy are interested, and the question is, are you going to cross them over to that offer? It's your WSO, as I said before, but moving forward, I would really highly suggest that you relook at the guarantee policy. And you look at it because, there are people who are nice people. They're not going to refund stuff. And you just taken, the opportunity that you would have for yourself to have a sale over a guarantee. You're missing business, Nathan. You're missing business. And that's all I'm saying. I really just think you should really reconsider that, because you believe that knowing this truth will prevent many warriors from giving themselves fake illusion. The fake illusion, unfortunately, is that the people who are asking for guarantees are actually people who haven't been robbed. That's the fake illusion. If they have been robbed, there are people who've been taken. All of us have been taken, and we just want some form of guarantee for that. So yes, it does benefit your sales, and it definitely benefits the customer directly when you have a guarantee. It adds that trust, not only for the sake of your sales, but for the sake of their purchase and for the sake of your brand. I hope you sincerely got this, and I hope you got it and received it in the spirit in which I sent it. I wish you the best in all things. I don't think that this is the best offer that you can give. You sound like a great guy and a man of purpose, and I certainly hope that you would seriously think and consider more carefully who is asking for a guarantee. It's not all people who are trying to get serial refunds or try to take advantage of you, Nathan. I know the feeling as though you've been betrayed when you sell something to someone and they run off and take it for free. I know that feeling. I know it right here, brother, right here. But you have to open up your heart. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like loving. You get your heart hurt in that relationship, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to ever deal with anybody again. But you have to risk to hope. And why would you risk in this case? More so than a sale, more so for your business. Because that one person who might get a guarantee, who wouldn't have bought without a guarantee, might end up being your lifelong customer and bringing more customer and more business to you. It's not the people who refund, it's the quality of the offer that brings them in the door. thank you so much. God bless you. And if you want to talk to me about it, I definitely open that up. This is, again, not to attack your WSO, but I really felt in my heart you're missing out on a lot of money, not through newbies, but through experienced people who would not buy this unless they know you or they know what you're selling. Everybody who's buying on here that I've seen, they're like, wow, okay, yeah, this is a great offer. I'm in. I know you. Cool. Boom. And that makes sense. And hopefully maybe the people who would kind of go on the guarantee, maybe they'll go in, but you're missing a lot of business. You need to open up your heart to that. And don't worry about the serial refund people. They come and they go. They're like rats, rodents, mice, and sub-degree people. You don't worry about the little things, Nathan. Take it from somebody with 16 years experience who's worked for Forbes, Universal, and some of the other big companies around the world, who's been independent for several years. So I'm not somebody who's new. I'm not somebody who's just walked in the door. But I want you to understand that, and I hope and hopefully get it. So I wish you the best in your WSO. Thank you so much.